A rover is about $1 billion.
The steady stream of data Edwin Kite reviews from U.S. and Chinese rovers simultaneously exploring the surface of Mars keeps him busy at his University of Chicago laboratory.
You can quickly go through a loop of making a discovery, forming a hypothesis based on that discovery, and sending a new spacecraft out to test it.
Gathering information in Kite's field of study had traditionally been accomplished using telescopes and analyzing meteors and the few moon rocks U.S. astronauts brought to Earth in the 1960s and 70s. But the new Mars missions are helping Kite and his colleagues obtain a more direct and complete understanding of Mars, thanks to the information the craft and rovers from the different countries have collected throughout the Red Planet.
We're at a really early stage of Mars exploration. We've only scratched the surface of what there is to discover. We don't know which country's investigation is going to stumble over something that unlocks the next stage of exploration.
During a U.S. House of Representatives appropriations hearing that was conducted remotely, NASA Administrator Bill Nelson, a former astronaut and former U.S. Senator from Florida, signaled alarm at the recent success of the Chinese space program, which he says isn't confined to the Red Planet.
They want to send 3 big landers to the South Pole of the moon, and that's where the water is. And we are still a year or two away from a much smaller lander going there.
Which is why Nelson is urging lawmakers to support NASA's Artemis program, which plans to return humans, including the first woman, to the moon, with Mars as an eventual destination. Nelson says China is on a similar path.
I think that's now adding a new element as to whether or not we want to get serious and get a lot of activity going in landing humans back on surface of the moon.
China is gaining rapidly on the U.S., and the Europeans are also in this space race.
Rocky Cobb, a professor of astronomy and astrophysics at the University of Chicago, believes a new space race could be positive. Cobb would like to see the U.S. and Chinese space programs collaborate rather than compete.
There's a lot of talent in China that we could make use of, and a lot of resources in China, and they have money to explore space.
But both Kite and Cobb acknowledge there is a limit to how much cooperation can realistically occur between the United States and China.
So the technology involved in peaceful exploration of space can also be transported to military uses.
There are legal barriers to bilateral cooperation between NASA and the Chinese space program, but those don't apply to non-NASA funded work by academic institutions.
Which is why Kite and Cobb and the scientific community they represent worldwide continue to pore over the tantalizing clues relayed from Mars in an effort to understand the origins of our own planet and species they say isn't confined to national borders.
There is only one Mars. It doesn't belong to the U.S., it doesn't belong to China.
Kane Fairbaugh, VOA News, Chicago, Illinois.